If you don't know what a creepypasta is, if you're not caught up on the internet culture jargon already, what a creepypasta is essentially a campfire story on crack. And some of these creepypastas range from Slender Man, Jeff the Killer, Mr. Banana, which is like really weird, entertaining, but weird, and many other creepypastas out there. Here's the thing, though. Children are very impressionable. Criminality and criminal behavior can be measured in the brain scans of children. Here's what I mean. If you have a child that, you know, is watching a scene from the Titanic or any type of film that has a scene where a innocent person who does good things is killed, show that scene to a child, and if the child expresses empathy, sadness, shock, whatever, you know that child, regardless if they have mental health issues, is a normal thinking person in the way that they feel sadness or shock, whatever. Child, and they show no reaction to it, as if it doesn't faze them. Then you might have a child that has criminal-like behavioral patterns, and you might need to get them by a therapist. Why do I bring this up? HBO did a documentary called Beware the Slender Man. In 2016, they announced that they were making a documentary about Slender Man, and my reaction was, Slender Man is a creepypasta meant to scare people intentionally. Why the hell would they make this a documentary? Well, there goes HBO's credibility when it comes to documentaries, because they're pretty good at it. Well, in 2014, two children killed a friend of theirs because they wanted to please Slender Man, and hence why Beware the Slender Man is the name of the documentary. And it got me thinking. These two kids have criminal-like behavior. One was showing remorse for herself, and the other was showing no remorse whatsoever, which is two different types of criminal behavior. But here's the thing, though. Creepypastas are meant for adults and not for children. I said that before, but I want to say it again to emphasize the point. Adults know when they read a creepypasta, they know it's made up. They know it's fake. They know the intention is to scare the living shit out of themselves while reading it, or creating it to scare the living shit out of adults. Because adults know that if they were in Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts, they all told horror stories around the campfire, or you told horror stories while hanging out with your friends, or played a Ouija boards growing up. And we know that creepypastas are nothing but scary stories on crack. We can handle these stories because we know how to tell the difference between what is fake and what is real. Children, on the other hand, can't really have that ability to distinguish what is real and what is fake, because kids are raised to believe that Santa Claus exists. That every Christmas Eve, Santa Claus comes down the chimney, leaves the presents, and goes to other houses all across the globe. Now, the image of Santa, the message of Santa Claus is not a problem. I would encourage most adults and children to remember what the message of Santa Claus is, and that is to be generous and be kind to others and give as much as you can. That I don't have a problem with the story of Santa, but what I do have a problem with is convincing kids that Santa Claus is real. Convincing kids that the Santas that are at the malls are the Santa Claus that travel from mall to mall and mall. That I have a problem with, because kids at that point are taught to believe that if there's no evidence for it, that it automatically exists. Here's another thing. The Tooth Fairy. Come on. Makes no sense. The Tooth Fairy is not real, and parents should not, tell their children that it is real. At the end of the day, parents just want to end up keeping their child's baby teeth. Most parents do this, or they throw it out. But the point being is that the Tooth Fairy is not real. Why should people be entitled to money because they lose a tooth as a child, right? Well, it's the same thing with any fictional story. Children will willingly believe it, and some children have the ability to critically think for themselves, but then they're told to shut up, to not their children. But I think they should be encouraged to tell other children Santa Claus isn't real, the Tooth Fairy doesn't exist, so on and so forth. If children have the ability, or are born with the ability, to have critical thinking skills, very well automatically destroy for their friends the image of Santa as an actual. They could say the moral of Santa is not a problem, but Santa Claus isn't real. So when all this comes to play, why are creepypastas just really meant for adults and not children? Because as I was explaining, children are impressionable. And as I was going through about the Tooth Fairy, Santa Claus, and all that, children will willingly believe it because they're told it's true. So they cannot make up the difference mentally if Slender Man is real or fake, because they will believe it if they just told by people it's real. And so I beg any creepypasta creator to put an age restriction on your videos. The reason why I ask you to put age restriction on your videos is because at a certain point, you have to realize that you might just be inspiring a child to kill another child. I don't think I could sleep with. Thing that to live with myself if I knew the story I created inspired a child to kill another human being. To live with myself. That would be really hard to sleep at night. And so, creepypasta content creator on YouTube, to put an age restriction on your videos if it deals with creepypastas. We're gonna just do a horror channel where you talk about haunted dolls and all that. Fine. If children want to hear those stories, let them. But creepypastas are not meant for children. They are meant for adults, and that's it. The video. See you next time.